How's it going today, folks? All right, so today I put together a Powerhouse 350K dividend portfolio that I want to walk you guys through. And this portfolio generates 60K in income per year, guys. Just on 350K, we can deliver 60K in dividend or distribution income. Let's just jump right into the portfolio to check it out. All right, guys, first and foremost, we are up to 69 members in the Patreon, and I can't thank you all enough for the support. Guys, if you want to join, you can join up. There are certainly you can join for free, but if you want access to all the calculators, it's a $5 a month tier for to access to all the calculators and join the community chat room. Or if you want to do one-on-one coaching with me, we do a $15 a month tier. Pretty much that's the cost of buying me a coffee these days, and that will get you access to calculators and do a one-on-one coaching session for 20 minutes per month. So please, guys, jump on board, and I'd love to have you on board. And I can't thank you enough for the support. All right, guys. So we are here and we are trying a new platform today, DivTracker.app. And I think it's a pretty interesting platform. I like it and I might consider it as my core platform moving forward. But today we've built a 350K portfolio that delivers 60K in dividend income, guys. 60K in dividend income. That translates to 5K monthly, about 1.1K weekly, and even $165 daily, guys. The yield strategy, the yield on this portfolio is 16, basically 17%. All right, and we're going to walk through the different positions that I've chosen for this Powerhouse dividend portfolio using 350K. Now, do keep in mind that this is pre-tax dividends. All right, so you have to account for taxation when it comes to allocating these dividends and then utilizing them in your daily life or dripping them, whatever the case may be. You do have to account for taxes, but certainly with a lot of these assets, they have a return of capital structure, so you're not paying tax really up front. You do pay tax more on the end, as the return of capital will reduce your cost basis, at least for the first, let's call it 7 years, until you deplete your cost basis, and then you will have to pay like ordinary income tax or capital gains tax, whatever the case may be, on the distributions and maybe the capital gains on the sale. So just keep that in mind. And the cool thing about the dividend tracker also is it will also show you the declared and estimated dividends from the inception, from when you started your portfolio in the platform. So it'll show you how much you've earned and declared within, again, that time that you initially purchased, and look to fill it out throughout the month, right? So the estimate for September is a $5,000 dividend payout, right? With my portfolio here, and so far we've generated about $1,000. We have a lot more dividends to come. Another thing you can do is you can set up a goal. All right. So if you have a goal of let's just say 75K that you want for annual dividends, you can set that goal up, and then the portfolio will estimate, of course, how much your portfolio is set up for dividends today, and then just give you an estimate on your percentage to dividend goal. So today, I've set up a 75K goal, where we want to continue to inject funds in this or drip into it to get us to 75K in annual dividends. Today we're only at 60K, but still 60K is quite healthy. And also it gives you an estimate on how much you need to invest to reach that goal. So I need to put in an extra 86K into the portfolio to reach that 75K with the current yield in mind. So I think that's pretty interesting. All right, guys, so here are the holdings, all right? And it's ranked by percentage, okay? So the first holding I've chosen for this portfolio is QQQI, and we've allocated 152K, or 43% of the portfolio, to QQQI. Because I'm a Bitcoin bull, I've added in BTCI. 27% of the portfolio is going to be BTCI. I've also really liked the strategy with T-SPY and what Tap Alpha is doing. So T-SPY is 17 to 18% of the portfolio. QDBO from Amplify, which is a really great subset, a tech fund, really great growth plus great yield, a great combination from a reputable brand in Amplify. So 8 to 10% of the portfolio is going to be QDVO. And then also for some healthy growth alongside great yield, I chose GPIC, which is the Goldman Sachs NASDAQ 100 covered call ETF. Okay. So all those together, allocated accordingly, will generate us in the first year, okay, about 60K in dividend income. 60K in dividend income. All right. And the great thing about this structure is I can actually, and this platform is I can actually formulate, guys, what this will look like in the future. Okay. Now I'm assuming that we can even see, let's make this more conservative, right? Let's go with maybe 2 and 2 because these don't grow too much, right? Like these they'll see a little bit of appreciation and they'll see a little bit of dividend growth, but generally speaking, not so much. We can also add in 10,000 in annual contribution, and we can see that we go from in the first year really a 64K in income, all the way down in 20 years to $2.3 million in income, assuming we're dripping, we're dripping this, and 11 what is it here? Total portfolio value of 13 to 14 million total portfolio value. All right. So, I mean, of course, things have to be, work in our favor. We continue to have to see this great yield. Bitcoin is going to have to continue on a great run. Tech is going to have to continue to bull and trend upwards. But the proof is in the pudding. Should this stuff come to fruition, it's all about continual reinvesting, and letting this thing drip, right? The initial investment amount of just 350K with 10K contribution, guys, could potentially get us to a snowball of 13 million. Now, of course, again, all things aren't equal, and this is assuming it's constantly going to go up by its current yield plus small growth. We know that's not going to be the case, so take these with a grain of salt. But these are good to look at and give a good comparison. And I know these are always kind of an overestimate, but I think it's cool to look at nevertheless. All right, so as I mentioned before, a great thing about this platform is you can see your monthly dividend payouts when they've come and what's to be expected. So as I mentioned, I'm expecting around 5K a month in dividends with this portfolio, and you can also see the calendar. Okay, and I think this is kind of cool. You can see when you expect these funds, and the reason also I chose the funds I've chosen. Let's move the calendar down a bit, is because I want to diversify when I'm receiving the income. Okay. So I want some money at the beginning of the month, right? So T-SPY, GPIC is going to be providing dividends at the beginning of the month, okay? BTCI and QQQI are going to be paying more at the end of the month. So we get two payouts spread out a little bit. Sure, do I want it on the 1st and the 15th? A little more spread out, maybe, but still these get, have a decent spread on the 22nd, 25th, or the 26th, and then the 3rd of the month. So we get a little bit of a spread out here. We get a little bit of a diversified allocation of distributions as opposed to just one day, because maybe that's helpful. Maybe you have a bill, or maybe you have to pay for something on a certain day at the beginning of the month and then near the end of the month. So it's good to have this kind of diversified. And I know a lot of people do that, as they kind of look at allocating some of their investments to a different fund so that it pays out on a certain day, and then others, they've chosen a different one because they know the payouts on a different day. All right, guys. So once again, this portfolio delivers 60K in dividend income. We walked through its forecasted future, what it looks like in the future, and we looked at also the holdings, right? BTCI, QQQI, T-SPY, QDVO, and GPIC is the holdings here. Guys, are you holding these funds? Let me know in the comments below. Sub to the channel if you can. Leave a comment below. And guys, all the best and have a great weekend. Cheers.